Hello Internet, I'm Jason Johnson, and what just happened? So, Payback just happened last night, and what happened was pretty much probably a much better pay-per-view than WrestleMania, basically last month. I guess that's usually somehow every pay-per-view after WrestleMania is a bit better somehow than the last one. It's not different. I'm still congested. No, I'm pretty much this will be out pretty much after the as soon as the live stream's up. But it was overall Payback was a pretty good pay per view. Just somehow people have the issue about the storylines and about the storylines, how storyline went. Basically, I think it went by okay. I think it went great overall. So I guess let's talk about this card overall. Sorry about this camera angle. Just trying to get my other foot out of the way. Stretch out my other foot. There we are. And so overall, the match card was actually pretty good. Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. Sadly, I did not really watch this match. I did not watch this match before I did my live stream. So that match is not entirely going to be on the card, won't be in this, but I heard what I do know is that Dolph Ziggler beat Baron Corbin. That's a shocking surprise on that was surprising that Dolph won. Because basically this is Baron Corbin's first pay-per-view. Basically, for a rookie, usually the rookie goes over on this one. Um, Next was Kalisto versus Ryback for U.S. title. Second match on the pre-show. That match I did watch. I think this time this was better because this time it wasn't like because this time people were because when this match came on, people were still trying to get into the arena, so there wasn't a lot of eyes to see this one. This time, pretty much just about everyone who was in that crowd at that point was there. It was able to watch this match, and I think this time it was actually is pretty good. I think it was pretty good match rate. Now, start of pay per view. So the start of the pay per view happened pretty much the Enzo Cass versus Devon Villains. Sad. There was a sad thing about that thing where Enzo Mori hit his head on the ropes and knocked himself out. That was a sad injury. At least now we know he just got released from the hospital. He is walking and moving and still alright. One thing is about this is they show this concussion like 100 plus times. Why? You don't have to show us that all the time. You don't have to. We got that it was a bad injury, but I guess since it was not as bad as serious like an injury like Kevin Ware breaking his leg in the NCAA tournament in 2013, that's bad. I guess they decided like it's not graphic and it's not dangerous to see this, horrible to see this, but it is that's something that WWE could have done. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, that was a great match, and the video package really made this match really big, made this match like a great crowd pleaser, a great show that the history, like their beginnings of their friendship, all the way to NXT, that Kevin Owens doing what he did, pretty much setting up that storyline, pretty much helped. That was something that worked out perfectly. And honestly, this is actually my first time seeing these two compete inside a wrestling ring. So, honestly, first time actually seeing them. I think some of their. All I heard. I do know they can be against each other in Ring of Honor in the past. So that's something I will want to see. I really have to see. And overall, this is a pretty good. This is a pretty great rivalry match. This is showing that grudge, and this match was pretty much by far match of the night by far. And this is also a match that stole the show. Great show stealer match. Because even the cameras actually showed some great shots, like pretty much having some hard camera had this deep look at when they were staring at each other when they were on an apron. On the apron, they were both like Kevin Owens had an anger, showing that anger and that motion that really told a great story from that point on with the camera, and that worked perfectly. Next match between Cesaro and Miz. I think the match was pretty good. I say it was pretty good. It was a pretty great match. Now thinking about Kevin Owens staying on commentary, that was actually pretty interesting. And pretty much we can all agree that we all wanted to be Kevin Owens at that point, because we all wanted to shut Byron Saxton the fuck up, basically, at that point. So Kevin Owens lived the dream for us. Thank you, Kevin Owens, for living that dream at that moment. So, what happened next? So, they had that match. Then, and pretty much, Kevin Owens beat Sami Zayn for the hard fought match. So, from there, Kevin Owens pretty much claimed he was coming back for the Intercontinental title, for the IC title. Sami Zayn came back and pretty much wrecked Kevin Owens' business. Like so, they had their feud. They ended up going at it. And Cesaro had Miz beat. He got him in the crossface, and he tapped, but referee was focused on Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, who were fighting on the apron. On their fight to the apron, and that Cesaro had to broke that up. Next thing you know, Miz rolls up Cesaro with ties, that cheap heel win. So that happened. Miz retains, but then Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn fought back in the ring. Kevin Owens ultimately beat up Miz, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. They stand tall, and we're gonna have that fatal 4-way Extreme Rules with for the IC title. Hopefully in a ladder match. In a ladder match. Next, Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. Now people say it was pretty much something that was made longer than it should have been. I kind of think it was alright. Now I gotta say it was a bit long. It was a bit dragged out, but I think that was because of no one was expecting. I guess WWE wasn't expecting about the injury to happen with the tag tournament finals in the beginning. They didn't expect that to end and Samori have that injury and end that quickly. So I guess they were trying to make this a bit longer than it should have been. I guess that makes some sense. They had to make it a little bit longer drawn out more, just to try and get WWE through that status quo of time. So I guess that's why they had to do that. So WWE had to do that, bring that up, speed, get that up, and it made that a little bit more drawn out overall. So that's what happened there. I guess, but overall, Dean Ambrose won against Chris Jericho. That's a big win for him. He needs more big wins like that. So that's good thing, a good thing, basically. And that somehow, I hope Dean Ambrose can get back on track because basically I think WWE still now has. I guess we still have this thing with Dean Ambrose. Still, he's still that guy now. That's good. I mean, now I hope he gets more big wins and whatnot in years to come, in the weeks to come. More more pay per view wins. At least get back to at least that main event scene, if possible. Next was a women's match between Natalia and Charlotte. Women's title. That I didn't really pay that much attention to that match. It was not bad. I mean, I think it wasn't that bad, but the finish is why recreate the Montreal Screwjob, especially in front of Brad. Like, come on, like we don't need a Montreal Screwjob, a women's version of the Montreal Screwjob. It is to be in Chicago. That was dumb. I mean, seriously, that was a dumb move to do. So we didn't need that one. I don't think the match was that good. It was alright, but it wasn't that good, really, entirely good, but it was alright. It was an alright match. Next came the decision with Vince McMahon and decide who ran Monday Night Raw. Was his daughter Stephanie or son Shane? Pretty much this lasted 30 minutes, which is way too long. Like, I mean, wow. I guess is this what we're gonna deal with? 20-minute long of promos now? Like, come on. I thought we were past this, WWE. Come on. More. So we're getting this. So it's a 30-minute long promo we got with the Authority. That's what happened. Next. So, in the end, Vince announced sides to make them both co-GMs, and also I was watching Raw actually earlier, just before I did this, so at this time, I think Raw was pretty good. I think for a while it looked good. I think. I don't know how Raw went, so entirely how Raw went, but I may have to look at Raw again a little bit, just to clarify how that went. So, yeah. Yeah, so I have to look back at that. Then, finally, the main event, Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. Now, this match was, now, a lot of people were thinking that had this idea of AJ winning the title. No, again, let's say this, Roman won. Now, thing is, it was different because it was not like, now, Bullet Club did make an appearance. Excuse me, one moment. I apologize for what you just saw. I had to get some stuff out of my system. But I'm back to normal. back to normal. Everything's back to normal. Yeah. So that match happened. So back to what I was saying. Yes, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles. I think it was a good match. I say it was a good match. I mean, it had this. It told a good like story of a big guy versus a little guy, and I think it worked perfectly. One moment. Sorry. Again, I'm back. Back. What I was saying, it told that good story of like little guy versus big guy, and I think that worked perfectly. Now I knew the time. Now WWE knew that they had like, okay, we have to make this longer than we thought it was gonna be because we still need to fill that status quo. So WWE decided like, okay, here's what we do. Here's an idea. We end the match via countout. Then Shane restarts the match with no countouts. then that match lasted a few more minutes. So this is what happened. So began the original first part of the match. Started out with with the WWE. So match started out pretty good. It had that big guy versus little guy storytelling, and worked out perfectly. I think that worked out perfectly. The match between AJ and Roman was, I think it went by good. Besides, and AJ is a great guy. Is a guy who actually knows put in work, and Roman sold AJ's moves very well. I think I think this was a match that Roman did well, because he did not. Now people have said Roman can't wrestle overall, and he's still a little green in the ring a bit, but he has shown. But from this match, he showed he can compete well in the ring that night. I think he did showed he can pull this off. He did prove that. Now that bit, I think one of the best spots from that match was that phenomenal forearm through the announce table. That was impressive. But WWE knew, as is like, okay, then when the match ended, then when it came to where that match ended via countout, WWE knew that was going to be how this match. It looked like that's how this is going to end. Like, but despite the fact that this is going to end early like this. Then they decided to restart the match with no countouts. That's where it's like, okay. Then there's like, it lasted another 5-6 more minutes. Then that low blow by Roman happened. And by DQ. Then the no DQ, no countout stipulation happened. And then the Bullet Club arrived. Then Gallows and Anderson arrived. Then the Usos arrived. Gallows and Anderson interfered on Bullet Club for a bit. Usos came in for Roman Reigns. They brawled for a bit. Next thing you know, Roman pushes AJ, who was on the top rope, pushes them to. AJ falls on the pile. Roman's like tries to clear the ring out of the way, clear them out of there. Tries to get AJ. And the thing about AJ, he's hitting Roman with like phenomenal forearm after phenomenal forearm, which is just another springboard forearm. they decided to make his finisher. Then they go for another phenomenal forearm. Roman dodges this one. And just with one spear, Roman wins. 1, 2, 3. Free, and Roman won cleanly. Now people are like, okay. What is this now? I'm not saying this is like the worst pay-per-view, and it was a great pay-per-view event. Now, this match was good. I think it was alright. So it was better than this. It was better than I think people were thinking it was going to be. Now, the ending was kind of underwhelming because now it's the legacy of Payback in this was. I think the legacy of Payback is going to be like the matches were as everywhere. The match quality in this match was good. In cases of like advancing storylines or creating new storylines, no, not really. It didn't do anything really storyline-wise. In like storylines, the matches were pretty good. So, in the end, I would have to give this grade a bit of. Now, we're going to take away 2 factors. One, the Baron Corbin Dolph Ziggler match, which I did not see. That's not factored in my grade. And I'm not taking the Enzo Amore Von Villains match, which that ended up with Enzo Amore injuring himself. We're taking those out as factors, so those are out of the equation. In the end, that match, I think everything to take into account, I think Payback deserves a 4-star rating. Let's say 4-star rating. It's overall across the board, the matches were good. Overall, across the board, matches were impressive. Storyline, not so much. But overall, that's what I think about Payback. That's it. That's what just happened. Do you agree with me? Tell me at home. Tell me what you think about Payback. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at DarkSavior1996. You can also add me on Instagram and Snapchat, JMoney1196. You can listen to my music on SoundCloud, JMoney96. Also, The Great Hustle mixtape CD. Is available now on eBay. Costs $1. It's the deluxe edition. Available now on eBay. I'm Jason Johnson. I'll see you guys soon.